So I was amazed that so many supports for Palestine from all people from the world, from so many faiths, from so many religions, even those who are not. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today I would like to translate my writing from Indonesian language into English. It's about the prophecy in the book The Beloved and I. It's about the fate of Zionist Israel and the fate of Palestine. And after that, I will recite or read from the book itself, The Beloved and I, because it's poetry in hymns, in long meter hymns. That's why I have to explain first into a simple English or simple Indonesian, so you will understand the prophecy in this very great book, The Beloved and I, or TBAI. Okay. On Sabbath, in the 20th week, according to the Daudia order or Daudia Sufi Tarika, this week is called the week of Elijah. So we have 50 to 53 weeks, and each week has a name. And we are now in the year 5783, and so during that Sabbath, it coincides with 7th October 2023. As we all know, that the resistance group Hamas had attacked the occupier, the colonial Zionists, during that day. So we all also know that Hamas is just one of the resistance groups in Palestine. So during that day, I have already had a very severe pemphigus on my skin from hands and from my breast and necks for a few days. And actually, I have not get the severe flares from this pemphigus for so many months already. I have recovered. I have just recovered from my feet skin. So all my bodies have already cleared for so many months. I just have struggled with my feet. And a few days before, I have already recovered on my feet. And on that day, 7th October 2023, I have just finished the Sema and Sohbet. So we have a service called Sema every Sabbath. And we have just finished the Sema Sabbath, and upon knowing about the news, I just realized that the prophecy that has been conveyed in the book The Beloved and I is happening now. So a few people in the social media, especially in Indonesia, they would like to mock me. They would love to harass me, assault me, calling me as prophetess. No, I'm not a prophet. But I'm not a prophet. It's what I write there. I did not receive any vision, nor anything such as that. I just read the book The Beloved and I, and only ask guidance from the four occulted masters. So in our beliefs, we believe to the four occulted masters to get guidance from them. So those four occulted masters are Enoch or Idris or Khidir, the prophet Khidir, Idris or Enoch. And the second one is the prophet Elijah, and the third one is Jesus Christ or Isa al-Masih, and the fourth one is Imam Mahdi or Imam Muhammad al-Mahdi or Imam Zaman or Imam of the age. So I just asked them, these four occulted masters, so that I can understand the book, The Beloved and I. Because I am the only one right now that is being the marja, or the one who is authorized to get reference for TBAI, or The Beloved and I, besides my murshids. I continued my murshid, Sheikh Ali Haidar, and I am currently the leader or the imam of my tariqah, de jure since 2022 and de facto for a few years already. So of course I have dreams. According to me, and as much as those who followed like Carl Jung, those who are Jungians, and just like other Sufis and mystics, dreams are very important. It's not just dreams, okay? So, before I continued about the prophecy, I shall tell a little bit about myself. And it will start from a day in December 2011. So, I will start from a day in December 2011. It was a very cold day in Rome when I was studying in two pontifical universities by the invitation of Nostra Aetate Foundation. Nostra Aetate Foundation. So I was invited by a friend of mine in our dormitory. His name's Jan, yes. So Jan was a guy from Czech, and he was going to visit the Vatican Museum because on that day we will get a free ticket. So he asked me, would you join us? So we're going with two priests from his class, one from his country, Czech, and the other one from Colombia. So I don't remember the names of his friends, just called them Thomas and John, okay? So because John and Thomas, they want to put their bag, so we split. I went with a Colombian priest. His name is, just call him John. So I went with John to a part of the museum that have the collection from the paintings from the medieval era. And suddenly I saw one very beautiful painting, and I laughed at the painting because it was the painting of Saint Catherine. So I was not laughing because of the story of the painting. No, it's nothing to do with the painting itself actually. I laugh because I remember my very close friend. He's a priest from the Xaverian congregation from Italia. His name is Matteo. He often laugh at me, like he would like to tease me because I like to become like Saint Catherine. So when I saw that painting, I laughed because I finally see this very beautiful painting, the real one, not uh, the one only in my handphone or computer or something like that, or just talking when with Matteo. And at the time I was married. I have two very beautiful daughters. But also at the time my marriage was not in a good condition already. So shortly after I went home to Indonesia, a few years later, after I got divorced and I focused on my activities in Gaudia Tarika, later on I experienced what happens in the story of Saint Catherine. I mean, similar like that. Even though it's maybe very quite different or very different, something like that. In context, different in context with Catholicism, when understanding the sacrament of the wedding of the nuns with Jesus Christ as their God. So, because they're all called as the bride of Christ in such a spiritual marriage. And these ideas of spiritual marriage comes especially from the Bible about the spiritual marriage between the righteous and God. Even basically all Christians, they say all Christian women married to Jesus, not just the nuns. They said like that. So in my own experience, because I just want to focus on studying, teaching, and understanding this great book, The Beloved, and I, as a dervish, a Sufi dervish, and also as a murshid, because at the time I have already been appointed as a murshid, even though just for teaching the tekkes here, the lodges here in Indonesia. I asked my murshid if I can marry the prophet Elijah. So I asked him if I can be his bride, because I am already tired with all the things in this world, like man asking me out, or I want to be with man, I like this man, I like that man, but this all disrupt me. So I asked my murshid if I can be the bride of Elijah. So like a teenager who is falling in love with someone, when my murshid said that my wish is granted, I was like so excited. So I get a call to be a mujarada or a celibate dervish and to be the bride of Elijah, which means I focus my service in humanity to be with Elijah, the prophet, and asking his guidance when I pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So being a mujarada itself, it's not something unusual in the Bektasi tradition, because Daudia is a tarika that has a sanat within the Bektasi tradition. However, we are different from the Babagan or something like that comes from Balim Sultan. So we trace our lineage from Baba Ismail. So that is the introduction about myself, so you can understand later on what I am going to say. So a few days later, I have a dream that I have been given a name Hepzibah. Because I grew up as a Muslim, I didn't know what is this Hepzibah. It's a strange, a foreign name to me. However, I have taken the name and I took my vow as Hepzibah, the bride of Elijah. And then I seek this name in the book The Beloved and I laugh, because it's not because of the verse. Actually, the verse in Isaiah, and the other one is about the mother of Menashe, but because in the commentary by our Murshid, it's talk about he had lived in a place where there were two hills called Hepzibah and Bela and Bayula. I don't know how to pronounce it, yeah, but that's it. That in that verse, I realized that it's a prophecy about the lineage from Sheikh Hawa, the grandmother of Sheikh Ali, that will be continued by me. So I was like amazing with that. Wow, I think that is what I understand from the commentary. Maybe it's very personal. Maybe it will be different for others when they read the first. I mean the first commentary, yeah, not the first of the text. So since 7th October 2023, I have always have a dream that is very lovely. It's very comforting with the prophet Elijah, of course. So, for example, he would bring me to a very luxurious mall, a very comfortable mall. I will have a good food there in a fancy restaurant, and I dress a very beautiful dress, and there are so many shops with very expensive, luxurious dress and something like that. And I bought dresses there, everything, things like that. Well, just one dream. I cannot tell other dreams. So what I mean is, during these days, I have good dreams, nice dreams. Why? Because this is what he taught me. Because if when I woke up from those beautiful dreams, I would be very painful. It's not just because of my pemphigus. My pemphigus is very painful already. And also my parents. I live with my parents while my mother is struggling with her Parkinson and is not talking anymore because of her Parkinson. And my father is struggling with his cancer. And I live with them. It's not just that. But watching and reading all the things from Palestine, so painful. As painful as my pemphigus. Do you know 40%, they said whenever I read in Google, 40% people who live with Pemphigus are Jewish. And I think I have ancestry from Jewish and Indian and Persian. That's why I got Pemphigus. I don't want to take DNA test unless people sponsor me to do so. But it is very painful. That's why I have such beautiful dreams. So, in the book, The Beloved and I, it is clear, said in the part of book of Daniel, 45 years after 1894, there will be a false faith, false religion, the last one that will come. That is not Baha'i, that is not Ahmadiyya, that is not Rastafari or Komunitas Eden in Indonesia, but that is Zionism. Why? Because in 1939, 45 years after 1894, the Nazis starts the power in Germany, and you can see in the ghettos, they ask the Jews to wear the armbands that resembles the flags of Israel today. So this is the seeds of the close of the neo-colonial, neo-imperial Western in Palestine, that they use the Jewish community as the cause, exploiting the Bible text. And as has been said by Nico Pellet, that famous guy who wrote the General Son, and he was the son of a general in Israel and the grandson of someone who signed the Declaration Petition of Israel. He said that Alkitab, in Indonesian, he said that the Bible has become the historical textbook by these Zionists. So Judaism has become the nationalism, as some of the Haredi anti-Zionist people said, and they make the Jewish ethnicity as the superior and has supremacy upon the lands of the indigenous Palestine. They denied the historical facts that even the Palestine people themselves, most of them were actually the Jews themselves in the past who convert to Christianity and to Islam. So one of the mistakes of so many Muslims and Christians today, they actually make Israel, which is Zionist, is the same as Bani Israel or children of Israel, and used in the Bible and in the Quran in general. So they don't put context in that. We cannot put that in general, it must be put in context. So they will put damnation curse to Israel and bless to Israel to become the Israel as Israel today, which is wrong. Because actually Muslims and Christians, we are all also the children of Israel. Because so I didn't realize that it was cut. So I will start all over again. So actually Muslim and Christians, we are all also the children of Israel, because we are all accepting the revelation in Sinai. So you read your New Testament, you read the Quran, we all accept the revelation that have been given to Moses and the children of Israel. So the term children of Israel is a spiritual term. It's not ethnicity, it's not tribal, it's not nationalism, it's something spiritual. So let's go about the prophecy in the Beloved and I. about the fate of Zionist Israel and the fate of Palestine. So first of all, I would like to tell that the approach that has been used by the Beloved and I is when they use this approach to understand the book of Daniel, the book of Revelation, and others book of prophecies in the Bible and in the Quran also. It's called historicism. So the approach is historicism. Among the people who use this approach is the famous Isaac Newton and the famous Uriah Smith from the Seventh-day Adventists. So using this approach means that the historical events are interpreted as the fulfillment of the prophecy that has been happened, and they will use it chronologically. Okay. So part of the text that has not yet been fulfilled also used by these patterns that is chronologically, and that's why we have to use some mathematical methods in it because they have numbers. Usually in the book of Daniel and in the book of Revelation, there are numbers. Yeah. So in the Beloved and I, it's very comprehensive, from Torah to Nebim and Ketubim to Gospel and to Quran. It's very comprehensive. You will not see conflicts from the Bible and the Quran at all. So beautiful, very beautiful book. So of course, as a student of history, so my major was history, I agree with this approach of studying to understand the prophecy, to define this, the Beloved and I. And so I was blessed because, wow, the Beloved and I used this approach. Of course, this must have been by guidance of the four occulted masters. Okay. So I was amazed that so many supports for Palestine from all people from the world, from so many faiths, from so many religions, even those who are not attached to any religion, or atheists. So they mostly come from the colonial and the ex-colonial states, and still a colonial state. Yeah. So some of them from these countries: America, UK, German, France, and so on. So first of all, as I watch all that from where I now stay in Indonesia, it means to me like the fulfillment of the revelation of 18 to 19 in the book of Revelation, chapter 18-19. I do not know this will be how long or until when this fulfillment. It may be going to be very, very long, maybe about 1 or 2 decades. But this prophecy is about the fate of the second cycle of Romans, neo-colonial imperialists. The fourth horn, the second side, which is the second side of Roman. Okay, this fourth horn will be destroyed. So we know that the first cycle of the first horn was during the time of Jesus Christ and during the time of Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. So I write that that even though the historicism is an approach that is chronologically and historically, but the text itself in the book of Revelation is not actually very chronological. So we have to put things in puzzles and pieces so that will be chronological and historical. Now let's continue. So that's what I see. So as you all know, those who read the Bible, the four occulted master, as we call it, the four Pirida Agoib, is mentioned in the Zechariah chapter 1, verse 20 to 21. They are what I said earlier, Enoch, Elijah, Jesus, and Imam Mahdi. So they will throw down all the four horns for superpowers. They have already threw down 3 superpowers in 2 cycles, and 1 superpower in just 1 cycle. Now they are doing it for the second cycle of the 4 horns. Yeah. So we have Babylon, Persian, and Greek, and Roman as the first cycle of the 4 horns, and we have Umayyah, Abbasiyah, Usmaniyah, and this current Western Empire as the second cycle. So that is my first looking at what happened. The second thing is I see the supports of the world is the appearance of Prophet Elijah spiritually to fulfill as a fulfillment of the prophecy in Malachi chapter 4. So if you see today the Muslims, the Christians, and the Jews who are being called for the revelation that has been received by the prophet Moses and the children of Israel, that is Torah, and we know that in Torah there is the pure law, the pure Sharia, and in the Quran we call it the Furqan or the Criterion, and most of us will call it Decalogue, to distinguish the right and wrong. So that's why it's called Al-Furqan in the Quran. So I see that most of them who happen to be in Sinai or Horeb, as said in the verse Zechariah, Malachi, they were called to return. See, Elijah said he will come to put the heart of the children back to the father and the father back to the children. See? So every one of us, Jews, Muslims, Christians, are now who are supporting for Palestine. We are all being steered by calling of Prophet Elijah. Because of what? Because of these 10 commandments. Because Zionism has been violating all the commandments in these 10 commandments. So we are all angry with them. Our ancestors revive us, call us to go against it in our heart from their heaven. And we ask our ancestors, why this is happening? Why those people are killing these innocent children and women and other people? Why? So as I said, we can also see so many Jews and so many ex-Zionists who were in the past, they were pro-Zionist or they were pro-Israel. Now they become anti-Zionist or they become against this colonial Israel. They become dissenters. It seems like Hur, who was among the army of Yazid, Rahmatullah, now Hur ran to support Imam Hussein. Beautiful, isn't it? So as I said, it was started in the week of 29, the 29th week or the week of Elijah. We see also, this is the third thing that I see. First is the pattern when Nadab and Abihu, the sons of Aaron, they fired the foreign fire in the altar. So they got angered, they got cursed by God because they light this foreign fire. So this also like this false faith of Zionism, because they bring this foreign fire to burn all people in Palestine. And the second thing is about the pattern when Dinah, who was actually going, she wanted to be married with this guy, but usually the Bible interpreted it as a rape. But it was made so because Dinah was silenced. The silence of Dinah means she wanted this, so she made this with this guy from Shechem. So, but her brothers, they did not want their sister Dinah to get married with a foreign guy, and they violated the agreement with the Shechem people that they destroyed all the Shechem people. And you know where is Shechem now? Shechem is in the West Bank now. So the two events that I said to you now is reading from the week of 29, the 29th week. So when I did it, wow, I was amazed. This happening in the week of 29 this year. Okay. So by these two patterns that I see as my third points in what I wrote in Indonesian language here that I should translating now, there are two kinds of Israel, children of Israel or Bani Israel. There are two kinds of Bani Israel. The first one are those who are in sins and are being cursed. And the second one are those who are being blessed because they hear what has been guided by Prophet Elijah, as in the Malachi chapter 4. So, according to the beloved and I, by the victory of the resistance group of Palestine that will be happen 1,335 years after the establishment of the Dome of the Rock of by Abdul Malik in 691 Common Era. Therefore, we will also see the defeated of Zionist Israel by the will of God, of course. Bismillah, inshallah. When that is, it will be in 2026. So in 2026, we shall see that Jerusalem will be free, and justice and peace will be restored there. And at the same time, we will see the continuing of the falling of this Roman neo-colonial, neo-imperialist power. That is those Western powers, yeah. Because there will be another power that is now reviving, that will replace them. So we have to be prepared with all these changes. We have to keep the Ten Commandments, or our Quran, or the Decalogue, or the pure Sharia as our guidance, as our evaluation kit. So we said in Japanese language, keep on eling and waspada. Eling means you always remember, you always conscious, and waspodo means you have to be always aware and alert. Eling and waspodo. Keep eling and waspodo. So keep eling and waspodo, especially this one is for Indonesian people. Don't get falling into the trap of this false faith that is the Zionism, especially because some Muslims and some Christians in Indonesia, they love Zionism. They even mock me in my social medias when I wrote about this in my post, even though it's from the Beloved and I. And they say, tolerance, about my church. Why about my church? You Islam, blah 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 blah. But they don't tolerate my belief in the Beloved and I. Yeah. So I just wonder, because many Papua in Indonesia, they are so happy to support for Israel, and they are black people, brown people like me. I'm brown people. I may be now dark because of my figures, you know. If we are the black people live now in Israel, we will not get the same equal rights as those people of Jews, white European Jews, huh? No? I wonder why. So many people in Indonesia now, like the MR people, the leader called MR, Money Crackers, Hadassah. They are so pro-Zionist. So yes, I was really wondering why so many brown people like me, even though they are Christians, they are so pro-Israel, they are so pro-Zionism. While people who are black, even the black Jews themselves, like the Beta Israel, you know, I read so many stories about how they were being discriminated, and even recently I read about how they make the women that cannot get pregnant because they are black. This is insane. This is insane if we are brown people, or we are yellow people, colored people. Better, you are black people. You are from Papua. My brothers from Papua, my sisters from Papua. Why are you supporting a regime that are killing, they are doing genocide, doing apartheid, doing racism to your fellow black people in Israel? Why? I don't understand. I wish my Papua brothers and sisters listen to me. I really wish to. So, this is for my Indonesian sisters and brothers, for my Indonesian siblings. So we don't actually have the word sisters and brothers in Indonesia. So in order that our Indonesian nation would not become cursed and always be blessed, whether you are Christians, Muslims, Hindus, Buddhist, Confucius, indigenous beliefs, or you are Javanese, Madurese, Sundanese, Malay, Manado, Minahasa, Bugis, Balinese, Papua, Ambonese, and so on. So that we are not going to be occupied again and keep our freedom, keep our justice. Please don't support a colonial and imperialist false faith. This is what Prophet Elijah said to me, and I convey it to you now. Whether or not you believe it or not, this is what I said. How to test this is true or not? Because this is based on the 10 commandments, based on the full Quran. So this is my last paragraphs from what I wrote. So I asked in rhetorical questions, what if the world war happen and the Palestine will be free? So there will be the returning of Messiah preceded by the return of Prophet Elijah. This is my question. Is that what will be happening? And another thing is that at the same time, will Imam Mahdi or Imam of the age will come together with the Messiah, Jesus Christ? So this is my answer. So only those who are not attached and divided by the labels that is ego-sectarian, or labels that are feeding the sectarian ego of Islam, Christianity, Judaism, Sunnite, Shia, Catholicism, Protestantism, Karaite, Orthodox Jews, Sabian, and so on. They are all will get the replies, they will get the answers and the truth. This is the fruit of sincerity, that they will hear and listen to the guidance from one or some or all the four occulted masters, either Elijah the prophet, either Jesus Christ, either Imam Mahdi, or either Prophet Khidir or Prophet Enoch. So this is my translation into English. Keep erling and waspada. Sidamastu, or may you be perfected. This is my words of Hepzibah that hopefully what is written in Isaiah 62 will also be fulfilled. Inshallah. Bismillah.